Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today we're counting down our picks for the musical interpretations that the original performer publicly denounced, or worse.
I'm headed home from your place.
Number 10. Elvis Costello, Linda Ronstadt. It's no surprise that versatile folk artist Linda Ronstadt is a fan of Elvis Costello. The surprise that the feeling wasn't mutual came out after she interpreted 4 of his songs. Ronstadt covered Allison in 1978, then Party Girl, Girls Talk, and Talking in the Dark for one 1980 album. She was even faithful to their new wave style. Nonetheless, Costello told Record World that the covers were like sheer torture, and that the whole Mad Love album was a waste of vinyl. He later expressed regret for his harsh reaction to a more mainstream artist paying her respects.
Don't come any closer, don't come any nearer.
Ronstadt's Allison and Mad Love were ultimately successful, though she told Billboard that she understood Costello's frustration with someone else claiming his art.
You say you don't mind.
Number 9. Blinded by the Light, Manfred Mann's Earth Band. Bruce Springsteen arguably broke out with the underdog anthem Blinded by the Light.
Madman drummers, bombers, and Indians in the summer with a teenage diplomat.
But it's better known as the signature song of Manfred Mann's Earth Band.
In the dumps with the mumps as the adolescent bumps his way into his sad.
Unfortunately, the boss wasn't impressed with the drastic prog rock rearrangement. On VH1 Storytellers, he expressed his dismay over the cover commercially outpacing the original by mocking an infamous change to the lyric. While the original chorus boasted "cut loose like a deuce" in reference to a deuce coupe, many thought Chris Thompson sang something besides "revved up like a deuce."
Wrapped up like a deuce, another owner in the night.
In a 2025 interview with Guitar Player, Thompson recalled Springsteen telling him directly that he hated Earth Band's Blinded by the Light. Both versions are still considered classics, even if one visionary doesn't see it that way.
Blinded by the light.
Number 8. Youre My Home, Helen Reddy. You can't help but sing along to a Billy Joel ballad.
When you look into my eyes.
Of course, he'd rather one particular gifted singer hadn't. Written for Joel's wife, the sincere piece, Youre My Home, was given the full orchestral pop treatment by Helen Reddy.
It always comes as a surprise.
The original artist blasted this interpretation at a concert that he didn't realize was being attended by a representative of Reddy's.
Oh, I'll never be a stranger, and I'll never be alone.
Joel revealed this in a 1998 interview with Uncut magazine, and that the incident nearly led to legal action. Reddy resolved the issue by promising Joel that she would never again cover his music. He hated to admit that his response was more enthusiastic than his feelings about the initial tribute.
I need you in my house, 'cause you're my home.
Number 7. If I Needed Someone, The Hollies. If any band should have thick skin for music covers, it's the Beatles. It was a very different story in 1965, especially as the world hadn't heard If I Needed Someone when the demo leaked to the Hollies.
If I needed someone to love.
They released their version as a single on the exact day the Beatles debuted the album, Rubber Soul. George Harrison, the song's writer, dismissed the Hollies' cover and overall sound in an interview with NME.
If I had some more time to spend, then I guess I'd be with you, my friend.
This sparked a public feud between the two British invasion favorites. The Hollies' Graham Nash later blamed the backlash for the single's commercial disappointment, but admitted in his autobiography that the circumstances of the cover were in bad taste. Thankfully, he and Harrison wound up becoming friends.
If I needed someone, if I needed someone.
Number 6. Where the Streets Have No Name. I Can't Take My Eyes Off of You. Pet Shop Boys. It doesn't seem like alt-rock pioneers U2 and synth-pop icons Pet Shop Boys would cross paths. Why not throw in Frankie Valli? The crooner never commented on Pet Shop Boys' mashup between Where the Streets Have No Name and Can't Take My Eyes Off of You. U2's Bono, however, put out a statement asking, "What have we done to deserve this?" Sure, this was a playful reference to another Pet Shop Boys song, but the sentiment was serious. 12 years later, Neil Tennant told the tabloid The People that he and Bono had made amends. It took a long time for them to find their way out of this petty genre feud. Now we just need to know what Valli thought of the crossover. Number 5. Street Spirit. Fade Out. Peter Gabriel. Incidentally, the relationship between Radiohead and Peter Gabriel didn't fade out. It ended abruptly when Gabriel covered one of his fellow art rock legends' most beloved songs.
Rows of houses all burned down on me.
Before his more solemn interpretation of Street Spirit was released, he told NME that he sent it to Tom York.
I can feel their blue hands touching me.
The band was set to, in turn, do Gabriel's Wallflower for the Scratch My Back cover project. Well, he never heard back. Gabriel was later informed that Radiohead were not pleased with his interpretation, though they've never given their side of the story. All Gabriel can say is that he can understand their apprehension toward his artistic liberties. The bigger artistic loss is that the world missed out on Radiohead's version of Wallflower.
Again.
Number 4. Ol' 55. Eagles. It's one thing for Tom Waits to dismiss the particular way another artist adapts his music.
Well, my time went so quick, I wouldn't look at this flick.
But his response to the Eagles' soft rock twist on the jazz folk ballad Old 55 was just the beginning of the rant.
Out to my old 55.
In a 1975 radio interview, Waits harshly described the cover as a little antiseptic. A year later, he told NME that he just didn't like the Eagles in general. As exciting as watching paint dry were his exact words. Even if the Eagles' Old 55 was technically more upbeat than Waits's, he felt that it lacked creativity. Granted, Glenn Frey once mentioned at a concert that the royalty checks helped him and Waits make peace.
Freeway, cars and trucks.
Number 3. You Really Got Me. Van Halen. The Kinks was an interesting way to follow the screaming guitar solo Eruption on Van Halen's debut album.
Girl, you really got me going. You got me so I don't know what I'm doing.
You'd think that the original artists would appreciate such maverick rock as much as anyone.
Girl, you really got me now. You got me so I get some bad night.
But in 2010, Dave Davies told Classic Rock magazine that he found this rendition of You Really Got Me to be artlessly technical.
Please don't ever let me be. I only wanna be by your side.
He was further disheartened by a concert goer believing that the Kinks were the ones doing the covering. At least Ray Davies found Van Halen's You Really Got Me to be good for a laugh. Considering that this version is as popular as the original, one could say that the Davies brothers just didn't really get it. Number 2. Summer Breeze. Typo Negative. The The soft rock icons Seals and Crofts are way off key from Typo Negative.
See the curtains hanging in the window in the evening on a Friday night.
As much as their doom metal cover of Summer Breeze sounds like a parody, it's still pretty toned down. The song was originally rewritten as an 8-minute-long, lyrically lewd epic under the title Summer Girl. But when the demo reached Seals and Crofts, they were deeply offended. Thus, a shorter, more faithful version of Summer Breeze was recorded for the album Bloody Kisses. The Summer Girl demo was leaked shortly thereafter. This hidden gem is definitely not for soft rock enthusiasts, but it's nice to know that Typo Negative had enough respect for the original artists to more or less clean up their act.
She sets me on fire, sets me on fire, fire.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Dazed and Confused. The Yardbirds / Led Zeppelin. Innovative songwriter and guitarist Jimmy Page has long faced allegations of plagiarism. Even Led Zeppelin's debut album was tainted by a belated writing credit to Ann Breeden for Babe, I'm Gonna Leave You.
Baby, baby, I'm gonna leave you.
But Dazed and Confused was an unprecedented scandal. In 1967, Jake Holmes performed the folk ballad while opening for Page's band, the Yardbirds.
I'm dazed and confused. As it stay, as it go.
They then adapted the song with just enough changes to credit Page as sole songwriter before Zeppelin made it a signature song. Holmes sued for copyright infringement in 2010 and at last received an Inspired By credit. It was the ultimate statement about what a musician thought of a cover. Of course, we could never confuse what Holmes thought about being excluded from the classic he originated. Where do you stand on these and other covers, and on where the original artists stand on them? Give your interpretation in the comments.
Every word you say, every game